It's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, December 6th. So today we have the moon moving out of this Taurus energy, moving into Gemini energy, setting us up and preparing for the full moon in Gemini that we will be having late Wednesday, early Thursday morning, depending on where it is that you're at in the world. So we are in the full moon window. Go ahead, listen to the astro forecast for this full moon in Gemini. Go ahead, download your moon guide for this full moon in Gemini. It is the last full moon of 2022. It is a very, very emotionally explosive, semi-volatile energy that we will be experiencing, not trying to be a Debbie Downer, just stating facts. So you're definitely going to want to pace yourself, keep your thoughts, keep your ideas, keep your tongue in check. That doesn't mean bite it, just means keep it in check. And we are definitely going to feel the energy kind of pick up here, speed up. Time is going to speed up as well. Of course, with the moon in Taurus energy the last couple of days, things have been low and slow. We've been going at a much slower pace in order to provide ourselves with as much stability and safety and security in our emotional realm as possible. We've been trying very hard to stay in this present moment instead of projecting ourselves off into the futuristic reality that we want to manifest and create. And now that we are shifting into Gemini energy, the air energy stimulates us. It gets our minds just a-going. We are going to be overwhelmed with thoughts, with ideas, with concepts. We might not be able to complete a thought. That's okay. Just pay attention to the rapidly changing energy within you. So we will have the moon move out of this Taurus energy, going void, of course, at 2:03 p.m., again, Eastern Standard Time. We'll be locking into Gemini energy at 3:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're definitely going to feel shaky and uncertain and have a lot of insecurities and fears and doubts come up for us while the moon is void. So there's 9 different aspects here today, and 7 of them involve the moon. The moon is going to make a very positive interaction with Neptune, and this is a beautiful energy. Neptune, of course, just went direct just a couple of days ago. Listen to that astro forecast if you haven't already. We're still kind of making the adjustments needed in order for us to acclimate to this particular energy shift. But what we're doing here is we're tapping into our dream realm, our fantasy realm, our imaginative realm. We're feeling pretty good about it because we can root it into our physical bodies where the moon is in Taurus and actually, feel what that kind of excitement is going to feel like when we actually manifest similar versions of this particular reality that we're craving to bring to life. And even more than that, emotionally, intuitively speaking, we're coming back online with Neptune, again, going direct, and we're really starting to kind of bring ourselves out of this present moment, allow ourselves to kind of, live in la la land just a tad, and then bring those good vibes, that manifesting energy back into our physical bodies and actually start working with it. Now, Mercury, who, by the way, is at the final degrees of Sagittarius energy as we approach this shift into Capricorn energy late this afternoon. Anytime we are at the final degrees of an energy, there's an intensity here. There's a spark. There's a buildup of energy. And Mercury is entering into the boxing ring here with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, and blessings. Here's the thing. Jupiter magnifies, turns the volume all the way up on whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling. At the last degrees of Sagittarius energy, we are not focused at all. We are scatterbrained. We are jumping from one thing to the next. Our thoughts, our speech is pressurized. We feel like we're in a rush. And this is really opening us up to being a little bit too free with our expressions. Again, keep in mind that Jupiter is always a little bit extra. Always adding a little bit more spice, a little bit more flavor than we actually need. And because Sagittarius energy doesn't have a filter, we're blunt, we're straightforward, not a bad thing, but we could be overstating our emotions, or we could be expressing ourselves a little bit too passionately. So we want to kind of, be aware of that. We're also looking to explore our thoughts, explore our emotions. We are taking a look at some of the cluster Fs that we've discovered in our head, and we're looking to provide solutions to them. But this is not a good jam for us. Again, we're feeling overwhelmed in the mental plane. We're feeling that intense pressure build in the head space. And because of that, we really do have to kind of be a little bit more cautiously aware of what it is that we are allowing to leave our mouths, again, not having a filter. The moon makes a positive interaction with Mercury. So this means that our heart and our head, they're getting on the same page. We're exploring new ideas. We're exploring our emotions. We have the Taurus energy from the moon trying to ground us, trying to stabilize us so that we can focus on a thought, that we can articulate ourselves, that we can express ourselves confidently and correctly. And for the most part, it feels pretty good right now to have an excitement, to have new ideas, to have new inspirations, and not be overwhelmed and totally paralyzed by them. The moon is going to bump into Venus. Venus, of course, rules over this Taurus energy in such a way that would suggest that maybe we're having things pop off in our exterior realm, especially where close relationships are concerned. Keep in mind, we're in the full moon window, so everybody gets a little bit cray-cray around this time. Everything is a little bit exaggerated, a lot more illuminated. It seems like a bigger problem than it actually is, but it would suggest that emotionally speaking, we may just be rocked just a tad by information, by details coming into our realm from our personal relationships, maybe changing our mind about people, maybe changing our mind about the dynamic, the closeness, the amount of intimacy. There's going to be some rapid thoughts, some rapid ideas as we move through this full moon in Gemini energy. The moon trines Pluto. This is Earth on Earth, right? Moon in Taurus, Pluto in Capricorn. Earth on Earth gives us a beautiful harmonization of this energy. What does this energy do for us? It emotionally charges us to prepare to make the changes and transformations that we've been resisting. It is emotionally pushing us into a new place of power and control over our inner realm and how it is that we're allowing the external circumstances to actually affect us and, I'm going to say, push us off kilter. Again, earth energy, grounding energy. Earth energy is powerful for us to recognize that we have more control over our physical realm than we actually believe that we do. It starts with the inner realm. When our heart and our head gets on the same page and in agreement, we're able to make the changes and manipulate our physical realms and the elements in it in order to start mirroring back to us the changes and transformations that we've already successfully had in our inner realm. The moon semi-squares Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer who is retrograde in Aries energy. A semi-square does bring out a little bit of conflict, a little bit of tension within us. And of course, the moon is involved. So emotionally speaking, we are starting to question ourselves. Again, if you've been listening for any amount of time, you would know that every single time we take one great big leap forward, that dark force agenda comes in and tries to pull us on back. So we just had this empowerment energy interaction from Pluto, and now we're starting to question whether or not we should change, whether or not we do need to move on, whether or not we're pushing for too much change. The fears, the doubts, the insecurities become very, very loud. Lucky for us, they don't last that long. 2:03 p.m. This is the last aspect that the moon in Taurus will make before going void, of course. It is a sextile, a beautiful energy with Jupiter. Jupiter wants us to grow. He wants us to expand the realm of our possibilities. He wants us to change the belief system within ourselves, within the cosmos, within the universe. He is pushing us out of this fear-based narrative that Chiron brought to us, and he is hyping us up like the best hype girl that there could ever exist. He is a cheerleader of sorts. He is putting us in a more optimistic, more confident state for us to align with as we are certain that the changes that we've been contemplating are 100% necessary. So this is when the moon goes void, things get shaky, things get uncertain. While the moon is void, right before locking into this Gemini energy, we're going to have another interaction with Mercury. Mercury rules over Gemini energy, so he's about to take its place of power when the moon moves into Gemini, but not yet. And what we have here is a discombobulation, a disconnection between our heart and head. Earlier on in the day, we were in alignment. Now we're questioning things. Now we're ripping ourselves down. Now our narrative has become a little bit more negative, more fear-based, more stubborn, more stuck. That's okay. We know that this is coming. We know that this is part of the process. This takes place at 3:39 p.m. And then again at 3:50 p.m., we shift into Gemini energy. We have no aspects after the moon moves into Gemini energy other than Mercury moving out of Sagittarius energy and moving into Capricorn, grounding us out, making us focus more, making us be very aware of our to-do list, of what it is that we have to clean up and what it is that we have to prepare to do moving into the future. Again, please listen to the astro forecast that I put out for Mercury moving into Capricorn to get the big picture, the big story on what we are going to be experiencing from now as we move into 2023.